the hell were you all waiting for to start attacking light? Waiting for the fucking stars to align? Back when I was growing up, the song came out.
Every man walking this earth has a war, but not every war is the same. Some men fight for comfort, some men fight for status, some men fight battles so small they'll be forgotten by next week. But you were handed something different, something heavier, something that bends the spine and cracks the ribs and makes you question whether God even remembers your name. He remembers. He remembers because he's the one who assigned the war. And God does not send his darkest soldier to easy wars. He sends him to the ones no one else can win. You need to hear this, because you've been looking at your life and calling it punishment. You've been staring at the wreckage, the broken relationships, the failed plans, the nights that stretched so long you forgot what morning tasted like. And you've been asking God why he hates you. Why you? Why always you? Why the people around you seem to float through life on still water while you've been drowning in open ocean since the day you opened your eyes. But drowning was the training. The ocean was the classroom. And God wasn't watching you sink. He was watching you learn to breathe underwater. Because where he's sending you, there is no air. Where he's sending you, comfort doesn't exist. And if he had let you grow up in peace, in softness, in a life that made sense, you would have died in the first 5 minutes of the war you were actually built for. So he broke you early, on purpose, not out of cruelty, out of engineering. The way a blacksmith doesn't hate the blade when he hammers it. He's not punishing the steel. He's making something that can cut through anything without breaking. And every hit, every loss, every betrayal, every night you thought was your last was a hammer strike, precise, measured, agonizing, and necessary. You didn't understand it then. You don't have to. Soldiers don't get briefed on the full campaign. They get orders, and your orders were simple. Survive this. Don't ask why. Just survive it. And you did. But survival changed you. It had to. The man who walks into fire and the man who walks out are never the same person. Something burns away. The need for approval, gone. The need to be understood, ash. The fear of being alone, of being rejected, of being forgotten, all of it turned to smoke. Somewhere between the third and fourth time life put you on your back, and the world stepped over you like you were already dead. What's left doesn't beg. What's left doesn't flinch when the ground shakes.
There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life.
What's left is a man stripped down to something so raw, so ancient, so close to the bone that there's nothing soft enough left to wound. You can't hurt a man who's already bled out everything he was afraid to lose. And that man, that version of you, is the one God needed. Not the polished version, not the hopeful version, not the version that smiled in the right places and said the right things and fit neatly into a world that was never designed for him. God needed the version that crawled out of the grave with dirt still in his lungs and fury in his blood and a faith so beaten and scarred that it doesn't look like faith anymore. It looks like war. That's the soldier he sends to impossible battles. Think about it. Really think. If your life had been gentle, would you be able to carry what you carry now? If love had come easy, would you know its real weight? If success had arrived on time, would you understand what it costs to build something out of nothing with hands that have been broken and reset so many times they don't even shake anymore. No, you wouldn't. The easy life would have made you fragile. And God does not send fragile men into the dark. He sends the ones who already know what darkness tastes like. The ones who've slept in it, prayed in it, bled in it. The ones who stopped being afraid of it because they realized the darkness was never the enemy. It was the training ground. And your training ground was crueler than most. That wasn't an accident. Some soldiers get stationed at outposts. Quiet, predictable, safe enough to sleep through the night. But you got stationed at the front line before you even knew there was a war. You were taking fire while other men were still learning to stand.
I'd rather you hate me and get better than like me and stay the same.
You buried people while your hands were still small. You learned about betrayal before you learned about trust. And that backward education, pain before peace, war before rest, suffering before understanding, that was the curriculum of God's darkest soldier. He didn't explain it. He never does. Not to the ones he sends deepest. Because explanation is a luxury for men who fight small wars. When God sends you into something no one else can survive, he doesn't waste time with reasons. He gives you one thing: endurance, not hope, not clarity, not comfort, endurance. The ability to keep moving when every signal in your body says stop. The ability to pray when prayer feels like talking to stone. The ability to believe not because you have evidence, but because something inside you refuses to let go of the God who hasn't let go of you. That refusal, that stubborn, bleeding, relentless refusal to release your grip on heaven even when heaven feels silent, that is the weapon. Not your strength, not your intelligence, not your anger. Your endurance under fire.
I'm doing more. It's not until then. Once you get there, that's when you fucking know you've done enough.
Is what makes you the darkest soldier. Because anyone can fight when the odds are fair. Anyone can believe when the signs are clear. But to fight when you're outnumbered, outmatched, and abandoned by everyone except the God who put you there, that takes something most men don't carry. You carry it. You've always carried it. Even when you didn't know what it was. Even when you thought you were just suffering for no reason. Even when the people around you looked at your life like a cautionary tale and whispered that maybe you should just give up. You carried it. And every single day you chose to keep going was a day you proved to heaven that you were worth the war it was preparing for you. Now listen carefully. Because the war has changed. You're not in training anymore. The season of breaking is behind you. The season of being ignored, overlooked, underestimated. That chapter closed the moment you stopped needing anyone to believe in you, except the one who built you. And when that shift happened, something moved in the unseen. Something ancient, something heavy, like a door that had been sealed for years finally groaning open. You felt it. Maybe you couldn't name it, but you felt the atmosphere around your life shift. People started reacting to you differently, not because you changed your words, because you changed your weight. There is a gravity to a man who has been through God's deepest training and come out breathing. He doesn't announce himself. The room just feels him. That's you now. That gravitational shift. And what comes next is not rest. Don't misunderstand the unchaining. God didn't bring you through all of that so you could sit down. He brought you through it so you could finally stand in the place you were made for. The war he assigned you, the one that's been waiting while you were being built, it's here now. And it is not small.
the fucking life out of you. Today's a good day for you to go through and shit can those motherfuckers.
It will cost you things comfort never asked for. It will demand a version of you that doesn't exist yet, and you'll have to build that version in real time, mid-battle, with no blueprint. It will isolate you further, not because God is punishing you again, because the mission requires a man who can operate alone, who can make decisions in the dark, who doesn't need consensus to act on conviction. That's why he trained you in isolation, so you'd stop needing a crowd to confirm what your spirit already knows. The war is not against people. Remember that. The enemies in your life, the ones who hurt you, abandoned you, dismissed you, they were sparring partners, training dummies. The real war is against everything that tells a broken man he can't carry God's purpose. Against every voice in the dark that says your past disqualifies your future. Against the lie that says the amount of pain you've endured is evidence that God forgot you, when the truth is the opposite. The pain is evidence that he remembered you, that he looked across every soul he ever made and said, this one can carry what I need carried. This one can walk where I need someone to walk. This one won't stop.
But what happens is the quitting mind comes in. We have to find our new norm. Our new norm is something like this.
And you haven't stopped. Through every wound, every silence, every season where the sky felt like iron and your prayers felt like dust, you have not stopped. And God watched every second of it, not from a distance. From beside you, in the fire, in the pit, in the room where no one came, he was there, not speaking, not rescuing, just present. Because some wars require the soldier to feel alone, so he learns that alone is enough when God is the one who sent him. You are enough for this, not because you're whole, because you're scarred in exactly the right places. Every wound gave you a skill the war will require. Every betrayal taught you a discernment no book could teach. Every failure built a resilience that cannot be manufactured in peace. You are not damaged, you are equipped. And the equipment looks ugly because it was forged in fire, not a factory. So when they look at you and see someone beaten by life, let them. They can't see what God sees. They see the scars. He sees the armor. They see a man who barely survived. He sees the only soldier he trusts with the hardest war. Walk into it now. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for readiness. Readiness is a lie comfortable men tell themselves so they never have to move. You will never feel ready. You weren't meant to. You were meant to move afraid and let faith fill in what courage can't cover. Walk like the soldier you are, heavy, steady, unhurried. Not because you're slow, because every step costs something, and you've learned not to waste movement. Walk like a man who has buried his old self so many times, he no longer fears the shovel. Walk like the ground knows what's coming before your foot lands. Because God does not send his darkest soldier to easy wars. He sends him to the war that will define what heaven stands for on earth. He sends him to the front line of something most men would run from. He sends him not because he's disposable, but because he's irreplaceable. Because no other soul was broken in exactly the right pattern to fit this mission. No other man carries exactly this scar, this endurance, this unnatural patience forged in a furnace no one else survived. You are the one, and the war you were made for doesn't need you perfect. It needs you present, scarred and standing, tired and faithful, alone and It needs you exactly as you are built by ruin, carried by God, aimed at something the world hasn't seen yet. So go. The darkest soldier doesn't ask if the war is fair. He asks if the order is real, and the order is real. It has been real since the first night you cried out, and heaven answered with silence instead of rescue. That silence was not absence. It was the deepest kind of trust. God gives the trust that says, I will not comfort you because I need you uncomfortable. I will not save you because I need you dangerous. I will not reveal the ending because I need you faithful without sight. And you were. Through all of it, you were. Now heaven stands behind you, not beside you, behind you. Because you are the front line. You are the point of the spear. And where God's darkest soldier walks, the war has already been decided.